So what's going on, Peter? How are you today?
Good. It's a good day. Yeah, everything is going well.
So how's the real estate business right now? Like what would you say was good about the summer and then the transition that's going on right now?
Well, there was a transition in the summer. The market kind of slowed down, and I was expecting a fall to pick up, but it looks like the market is still challenging. There's there's the good news is there's a lot of inventory right now, a lot of new inventory coming to the market. The bad news is we are a little bit slower with the buyers, and I'm not sure what the exact reason is for that. But the market slowed down as far as the purchases.
Um so the thing I've been seeing is that, like right now with the whole government being shut down and all that, it's a little bit challenging for a lot of people. They it's affecting a lot of our clients, because some of our clients they work for the government, or they have their subsidies from the government and they're expecting these funds to come in. And with that being held, it creates a lot of uncertain, like they just can't be 100% committed to what we have going on, right now. And even, some people are holding on to the dollars and they're trying to make this stretch their dollars now. And unfortunately, we're in a position where we don't know what's going to happen with the market, what's going to happen in a year or 2 years from now, because we just keep going through up and downs.
Correct, correct. Yeah, I think there's a lot of factors to everything here. Yeah, the political situation, the market situation, the financial situation, and the rates. Everything plays a role here. It all comes down to market being challenged right now and kind of slower. I'm hoping it's a temporary thing. But we'll see probably in the spring. What's going to happen. Spring usually is when the market picks up and is pretty busy. If the market will pick up and start on a good note, then I think we're going to be over it.
Yeah, like what would you tell like a lot of some of your clients that you may have, that they're waiting for the spring market, in order to pick up? Would you recommend them to do something right now and start working on it?
Well, it depends which clients. If we're talking about buyers, I would strongly advise to go on the market right now and start searching for the property. There are good deals. There are some discounted properties. There are properties that you can buy. They're updated, and you don't have to go into multiple offers. As long as you put decent offer right away, we should get this under contract. Spring is not going to be the same. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more buyers in spring. When it comes down to the sellers, I think spring is going to be a lot better for the sellers. Although, not every seller can wait till spring, especially clients there rehab properties or build homes. They don't want to stay 6 months on the market or 5 months on the market paying bills, paying taxes, and not being able to sell the property. So they have to sell right now. So those properties right now you can actually buy a little bit lower. You can negotiate, you can get a nice discount and put it under contract. If you're interested in purchasing a updated property, now is a good time.
Yeah, it's I a lot of clients also told me that they want to wait till next year. They want to give it a few more months, save up a little bit more money. And what I've told my clients is that, like right now it's the perfect time. Like you said, right now it's the time to take advantage of the discounts. Sellers are willing sometimes even to give you a credit, for closing or anything like that. And it's a good thing to purchase a home right now because you could actually see if the furnace is working, the windows are good, the doors are good. If you need to do any weatherization to the property, right now is the time to kind of see like what's going on with it and expect, to save yourself some money on gas bills, because we do get some brutal winters here. And it's the best time to buy. Like I honestly suggest a lot of people to buy right now. And even like the sellers of the houses, they're gonna go look at another house, and they don't want to go from a home that everything was good and great on it. Maybe they need to accommodate themselves to a little bit of a smaller space, or maybe their family grew and now they need to get a bigger house and they want to make sure that everything's working out good for them because fixing a furnace or anything like that is it's a good chunk of money, and I recommend people like, hey, do it right now, get it out of the way, make sure it's working good, make sure that it got tuned up, and people that have their homes like tune up your heaters, your furnaces, make sure that everything's good right now because in
Correct.
the winter, yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, correct. It's a great time right now to purchase a property. Overall, in fall, usually every year is a good time to buy a property. The only thing last year we had short inventory. Last 2 3 years it was kind of lower inventory. The difference in this year is we have a lot of properties, new properties coming to the market, and there's not a lot of buyers lined up to put an offer on them. So there's your chance to discount. There's your chance to negotiate and get something that you can update throughout the winter. The good thing about the winter and the contractors, they're a little bit slower in the winter, so it's going to be a lot easier for somebody to have someone to come in, contractor, update their bathroom or kitchen. If they buy a property that needs updates. If you buy a property that is nice and updated, you have nothing to worry about. That the positive note is that you can actually negotiate right now and get a good deal.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a great time to purchase a property any time of the year. Whenever a client is ready, I would say right now it's a perfect time. Like you said, it's kind of slow. Contractors are slow, so you're able to talk to us, see what you need, see where your credit's at. Like we mentioned before, we're here to help you out with your credit. We have credit repair people that we work with. We have simulators that we can help you out with. Maybe we'll take a transition of a month or 2 months. Right now we're in the beginning of the fall, and in winter, well, there's not a lot of vacationing going on or anything like that. Well, like for my part, I just usually just stay home. But
Mm.
um, you want to take advantage of the time you have right now, and if you could purchase a home right now, it's the perfect time to do it. I have had clients tell me that they want to wait for a year or maybe another 2 years, and unfortunately, the properties are not going to get any cheaper. If
Right, right. Yeah, if anybody says I'll wait a year or two, then it's a big question right now if the properties are going to be available in 2 years or 1 year, or if the rates are going to be good, or if there's going to be any deals. You never know. The rates may drastically come down. There's going to be a new wave of buyers, and in 2 years you think you're going to get a better deal. You won't. So I think when the time is right, I mean, I understand some people need to wait. There's not everybody that can purchase a property right away. Some people just start a new job, or is building that income right now that does not qualify for a certain loan and wants to wait to make more money or more down payment. So I understand that situation, but whoever qualifies now should not wait, because now is the great time to purchase a property.
like from the stats that you've seen, because I always see your Facebook posts. You're always like putting stats like, oh, these are new buildings that are coming up, new constructions coming up, and I like seeing your stats and Facebook and Instagram. But what have you seen on average for the past 2 3 years or even 5 years? What has happened to the properties? How much of an increase have they gone up every year? Like how much of a percentage? Like,
So the average percentage is right around 6% annually. There was some years, years that they went up even 10, 12, some 3, 4, but the average for the past few years is about 6% every year. Um, and that's kind of a lot. I mean, when you think year over year at 6% doesn't seem much, but then you wait 2 3 years, and you all of a sudden your property is going to be 20% more. And for those that want to wait, 2 years or 3 years to buy a property, I wouldn't be surprised, and the houses are going to be 20% more in 2 3 years.
oh wow, That's a big chunk.
Yeah, yeah, it's a big chunk, and I mean, it's not guaranteed it's going to go 20%, but when you look at the market, look at the history, look at the stats, it comes down to that percentage, about 6.5 annually.
About 6.5 annually. So this is what I tell my clients that are on the verge of purchasing a property or not. We've had clients that have, backed out. And it's unfortunate because, like, of course, taxes have gone up, the utilities have gone up, the rent's going to go up too, like the rent's going to go up. Would you rather pay more money in rent and try to save an extra $3,000 or $4,000 when you could purchase a property right now, get the property and build, 6% in equity in 1 year? Wait another 2 years, you got, 12% of equity already built into your house. You're still making the same mortgage payment. You're still paying the bills the same way. Everything's kind of happening. There's not going to be a big change in 2 years, but the only change is that you built equity already. So
Right.
anyone that wants to wait a year or two just to save up like an extra couple $1,000, it's not worth it. If they're able to do it right now, I will tell them like go ahead, like jump the line and take the chances of it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you're losing on money, like, and these houses are not like, $100,000 anymore. We're looking at 300, $400,000, a little bit more. So imagine that times 6%, how much equity you're already creating in a year.
Correct. That's the most important part about buying a house, that you build in your equity, unlike renting, which you pay monthly and you don't build anything. When you purchase a property, you're building your instant equity, and with the prices going up, once you own it, you actually appreciate it because you have built a nice equity in your house.
And have you had any clients like recently that they're ready to purchase a home, and then they're like, oh no, like let me back out of this, and then let me step away from purchasing a home, and I'm just uncertain of what's going on.
Well, yeah, I talked to a lot of agents, and it happened to me in the past, couple months, that we put properties under contract, and out of little reasons, clients start to cancel those properties, and usually it's not inspection, it's not any problem with the house. Usually it's an income or payment. Think people are watching some news on social media, or some not confirmed information about recession coming in, and they get scared. If there is a meeting at work and somebody's getting an hours cut or salary cut, and they cancel right away because they think the recession is coming too. So there could be a lot of reasons for cancellation, but lately I see it's more job related, work related, than property related, and that percentage increased drastically for cancellation in the past 2 months. I think 30 for 40% deals that we put under contract, they get canceled.
Oh wow, yeah, I've seen that happen with us too. Like you're on the real estate side, and I'm on the lending side, and I see the challenges that we're going through right now. That there's a lot of uncertainty of what's gonna happen in the next few months. Like a lot of people that work in construction, some of the jobs have slowed down for them. Um, they're not making the same income that they were making. They're not, getting the same hours that they did before. Like a couple years back, they were working overtime like crazy, and now it's like, oh, maybe well, maybe you'll get a overtime couple hours and that's it.
Mm.
It's not the same anymore. And but I will tell people, like that's why you have to talk to us. We have to figure out your budget, like without the overtime, without the bonuses, without anything like that, because we want to make sure that every client is able to maintain the house payment that they're going to get into. If in case anything happens to them, let's say that they don't get the same bonus that they did the past year or anything like that, You don't need to depend on that the whole time. We could talk, sit down, see the numbers, work them out before you go ahead and say like, yeah, let me go ahead and spend money on appraisal, inspection. Let me go pay for someone to go look at the property, and next thing you know, you're spending $1,000 or $2,000, and then for what? For you to cancel the contract. And
Correct.
it's very important to come and talk with us. Sit down with us and let's put the worst case scenario and the base case scenario, and kind of be in the middle. We're here to help out. Our clients. We don't want them to default on the payments or do anything like that.
Hmm. Yeah. Plus, there are grants available too. There's some new Cook County grant that came out not that long ago. There are grants, that lenders offer on certain addresses to Cook County or non-Cook County. Any place in Illinois may qualify. So there are ways to go around it. The rates are going to be going down, and I'm sure they're going to go down. If the market slows down, the rates are going to go down, and the people that did not qualify for a certain loan, they all of a sudden they're going to start qualifying for it. Even though their income is going to be just a little bit less, they're still going to qualify for more if the rates are going to come down. So I think it's good to review their income and that ratio, and talk to any lender or talk to you, and see if they may qualify right now for anything in their budget.
Yeah. No, yeah, we have all these programs. We also work with down payment assistance. Like you said, there's Cook County grants that are coming up, and then we have sometimes we have like grants that come from the IDA, and they pay for your school. They pay the whatever money you owed in student loans, and it's a good chunk of money that they let you keep after a certain amount of years. And like I tell a lot of clients, like, hey, we don't know when they're gonna come, we don't know when they're gonna end, so it's like, hey, let's be prepared for it. Let's make sure that you qualify for it, because there's some people that could do it and there's some people that can't. That's why
Hmm.
they have to sit down and talk with me and talk with you, and figure out their plan at the end of the day. Like, what is it that you need? What is it that you want? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in 10 years? Like, what do you see that's gonna happen in a couple years? Your kids right now, they could be 2, 3 years old, and next thing you know, you got like two more kids. And then your kids are like teenagers in 10 years. That's in
Correct.
10 years just fly by. And every kid wants their own room. I never had that privilege, but now that I'm an adult,
Hmm.
finally. But I always had to share a room with my brother, and then my other little brother was always around making a mess. We needed a bigger house. We had a two-room apartment back in the day, but yeah, we want to make sure that we're able to accommodate ourselves and accommodate our family, and we're here to help out our clients. We gone through the same things. Maybe sometimes it's a little bit tougher for them, but we're here to help them out.
Yeah. Great thing is to sit down and talk to clients and plan out for a few years, plan out for 2, 3, 4 years what your goals are, where you want to be at, and how much you want to make, or what kind of property you want to own. And that's so much easier for you guys and for me when somebody has idea where they want to be. Because if they're planning on having 3 kids, but then right now they're buying a condo, I strongly suggest to not buy a condo, to wait a little bit and purchase a house or a bigger townhome, if they that's their plan. But if it's otherwise, then you buy whatever you can afford right now, and then sell it or rent it and purchase something bigger in a few years. And once you do your first property, it's so much easier to close on the second, third, fourth. Uh, you just have to start somewhere and uh, and build up that equity, build up that property value, and I think after a few years you're able to have idea where you want to be at as far as your future home.
Yeah. So one of the things that I like about working here at Neighborhood Loans too is that we offer various types of loans. Qualifying mortgages and non-QMs and everything like that. So we have different programs for everybody. There's some people that have their business, like their business owners. They don't claim that much money in taxes, because of course there's expenses, there's all these things that come around. So we do bank statement only loans. We can sit down and talk about like what programs we have available for that. We have income, like some kids, some young couples, they barely graduated from the university and they got a job offer and now they're working, now they're making money, and then they're like, oh, we gotta wait 2 years for us to qualify for a house, and you don't have to wait the 2 years because we could use your work history because you were going to school. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something we can do. So like I said, it's the best thing to do is talk with us and then get get what's going on. Like tell us what's going on with you as a client. Let us know what position you're in right now, what were you doing before, and what your plan is for the future.
Correct.
And like I said, we have all types of different programs that we could help our clients with, and we're able to do that for them.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said before, planning and sharing their dreams, their plans is the most important fact right here. If you share your information with the professional like you, like me, it's always going to be easier for us to do their jobs. We're going to know where to start, and what kind of property to look for. Um, Everybody has different plans. Everybody has different dreams. Some people have kids, some people don't have kids, some people plan to have a house and stay there for 15 years, some people want to stay here only for 5 years and move out of state. All those factors play a crucial role in finding a right property. So sharing those informations is important, very
Yeah.
important.
So how long have you been doing real estate for now, Peter?
So I started in 2016, 16. So it's gonna be this year 9 years, and in April actually 2026 is gonna be 10 years. So we're gonna throw a big party, big anniversary party. But it's still a few months away, like 6 months away. So
6 months away, 10 years already in the business, and you've seen the market go to its highest, and you've seen the market come to its lowest, and you've seen a lot of things. In the 10 years, what would you say that you look forward to in the next 10 years yourself? Like where do you see yourself in 10 years from now?
so yeah, I've been few different markets in those 10 years. But I think if we're going to have the same market for the next 10 years, I wouldn't complain. I would totally not complain. I think the worst part of the market, when I talk to the agents that have been in the business for a longer time, they say that the worst part of the worst time of the market was between 2008 and 2011. Although right now, this month actually, I talked to a couple agents. They said that they made thousands of dollars on short sales when there was a recession. So, some people complained that they didn't have a business, but some agents found a way to make money. And I think that's the most important part about the market. No matter what market brings at you, there is a way to make money. You just have to adjust.
Yeah.
And those agents that don't adjust, they complain, they're always going to be on the bottom. The ones that are going to be on the top are the ones that are adjusting. If the market is selling more properties that are foreclosed or short, so you have to market, you have to advertise to these clients. If the market sells more luxury properties, or properties that are in certain areas, you have to advertise to those certain areas. You have to advertise to this kind of client. If there are low rates and there is a lot of buyers, you have to advertise to those buyers. So whatever market brings at you, that's where you have to be. And I think for me to say certainly where I want to be in 10 years is kind of impossible, because I'm going to be where the market is going to be. I
Yeah.
want to adjust to where the market is going to be at, so I can cater to those clients.
Well, yeah. One of the things that I've seen, because you've been in this business for 10 years, just about, right? And you and I have seen that. We there was a lot of realtors that came in 2020. Like everybody was selling houses left and right. The rates were low, and most of those people just they're gone. Same thing with loan originators, and people were like, "Oh yeah, let's go get this money and this and that." Like, no, we're you and I have we're a different breed. Like we're not here just to make money. We're here to help out families and help out our friends and help out our business partners. And that's why you've been in the business for 10 years. I've been in, doing loans for, I'm going to be at 4 years already. And it's just crazy how time just flies by. We're
Yeah.
enjoying our job. We like to do what we're doing. And like I said, there's people that are just like, oh, here, I'm going to make a paycheck. I'm going to make quick money and not adapt. I'm going to stay to the same ideas that were here 2, 3 years ago, and everything changes, and then that's the thing that we're adapting, we're going with the flow, we're going with the changes that happen in our market, and we're here to help out, our friends and family and our coworkers and people around our community because, no one could say I've been in the same job for 10 years, like
Yeah.
you have to make moves, you have to make adjustments, and thank God that everything's been working out good for you, and yeah, you better invite me to that 10-year party, man.
Yeah.
I'll bring a
We'll
bottle
throw
of tequila
we'll
or
throw a
water.
big party.
Yeah.
Maybe live on podcast.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, it'll be good.
but yeah, that was well said. Yeah, you have to adjust, and you have to move and be wherever you feel like you're not comfortable with, and the market is turning into that directions. That's where you have to be at. You have to get out of your shell and start doing new things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in every business, in every job, that's important to do. Just doing one thing all over again every day, it's not gonna make you rich. It will bring that check. But you're gonna be miserable and you're not gonna be happy in your life. When you adjust, when you discover new things, when you change, when you start working with new people, that's where you evolve.
Yeah, and it's this is something that I love about our job, like we're able to travel, like around the whole city. You're going up and down, you're doing open houses, you're meeting new people, you're meeting new clients, and you kind of like become, like it's more than a transaction for you and for me as well. Like I've been good friends with a couple of the clients I've had already, and I hit them up, I give them a call like, hey, what's going on? How are you? How's your baby? It's a little bit bigger now. It's walking. It's starting to talk,
Hmm.
and it's something great. Like to have the follow ups and continue to build the relationship we have with a bunch of our clients. And like I said, the best thing you could do for us and help us out is send us referrals as well. Enjoy the experience that you had with us in the transaction. We're gonna make it as smooth as possible as we can for you, and we're gonna guide you and not guide you and save the most amount of money you can save, spend the right amount of money that you have to spend, prepare you for that, and at the end of the day, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna help you out.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. What you're describing is a personal relationship with each client, and that's crucial. That's the most important thing when you're dealing with people, with your clients. I see a lot of agents, a lot of people, professional people. They close transaction. They never talk to these people again. They never call their clients from 2, 3 years ago, and they don't stay in touch with them. And they wonder why after 5 years they call somebody else to sell their house. You got to stay with your people. You got to talk to them. You got to call them every day. You got to make phone calls. You got to stay in touch. You got to know what's going on in their lives. And throughout those phone calls, you build up massive amount of business. But unfortunately, a lot of agents, loan officers, they don't do it.
Yeah.
They don't call their clients, and and complain why it's not enough business for them.
Yeah. No, yeah, I've seen people here at Neighborhood Loans, like they're loan originators, and they've been doing it for years. And one of the good things that I pick up from a lot of people that I work with is that, yeah, they do follow up. Hey, they call you when your first payment is due. They give you a call like a 1 year anniversary. They send you a birthday card and a gift card, when it's your birthday. And that's something, that we do. We like to keep informed of what's going on with our clients. You never know, like maybe they got a bonus or they got a raise in their job, and now they're like, hey, you know what? We actually need to get a bigger home. We want a bigger yard.
Right.
Hey, I want to buy a nice smoker. Do you know anyone? Or I need to do my flooring, or I want to do the HVAC. You and I know a lot of people in the industry. We know people that put floors, construction workers, plumbing, electrical, HVAC. We have a whole book of people that we could help out, and that's the advantage that we have. We help out our friends that we know, like our sphere. We help our clients out, and everybody just helps each other out, and our sphere just gets a lot bigger every time. And people actually do appreciate that.
Yeah.
And we help out our small business friends. We help out our clients, and what a better thing to do. And this is what I see from the great loan officers that are here. That's what they do. They follow up. Just a simple thing to do. Follow up, and then keep in touch with your people. And
Yeah.
I learned a lot from them, and they're the top producers, and they see it like it's nothing. It's like a habit for them.
Yeah, we are modern white pages. Do you remember white pages? They used to send this big book to people,
Oh yeah.
houses, and with the information on all the kind of businesses or trades that people do. Now, they don't send those books anymore, and we are the modern version of those books. We have our phones with hundreds of numbers, and most of them are with people that do some kind of a trade. They're HVAC guys, they're contractors, they're plumbers, electricians, and we should use that valuable information with our clients. We should refer them. If we don't have anybody to refer, we should get in touch with somebody that we have to refer to our clients. Once we help our clients, they're going to remember that, and they'll call us back in a few years or a few months when they're ready to sell buy.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Follow up, give numbers out, and they appreciate everything. And like you said, like we are in a business that, like before you and I used to sell cars, right? We sold cars in the past.
Yeah.
That's how you and I met, and even keeping up with our old coworkers, keeping up with our friends. Back in the day, we used to, work bell to bell. From 8:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night sometimes.
Yeah, 9 o'clock. We had our dealer was closing at 9 o'clock, but sometimes you had to stay till 10. When you sold the car at 8, you had to stay and finish the
Yeah.
job till 10 p.m. Amaze me right now when I go to the dealerships and they close at 7 or 6 p.m. Some
Yeah.
of them. I'm like, come on, man. Back in the days, we had to work till 9 and 10.
Yeah.
9 to 9, bell to bell, we called it. And there was like 3 or 4 times a week that we had to do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now, in the 10 years that you've been doing real estate, you feel more comfortable doing the real estate, or you feel more comfortable selling cars? And like, how do you adapt to the schedule that you had before to the schedule you have now?
So, when you go work in real estate, what you think is going to happen is totally different what happens. You think you're going to be that independent person with your own schedule, but you end up working more hours than you work for somebody else, because you wake up in the morning and you have phone calls, you have emails, you have already info that you have to go through right at 8 a.m. And then, when you show properties in the afternoon, you have to write up a contract, or you have to check comps, and you're working till 9, 10 p.m. So throughout the day, there is a lot more hours that we are putting working for ourselves than working for somebody else. As far as the difference between, selling cars and selling homes, it's a big difference, of course. You're selling a different product, so you cater to different clients. But overall, you got to build up relationship and trust with your clients, and I think it's very similar.
Mm-hmm.
If you're good at building a relationship with your clients in car business, you're gonna be good in working with clients and housing market. So I think I'm not sure what do you think, but I think for me it doesn't make a huge difference. Although my expectations were different to what it is right now as far as the hours and time that I'm gonna work. But you know, all at the end, we got to do what we got to do. We decided to do it. We can't right now go back and complain.
Yeah. No, yeah, I love my job. I love what we do. And honestly, I feel better that, that we are able to meet our clients personally, and it's just not a transaction. And we're not stuck in a place for 12 hours or 13 hours or 14 hours. We're able to move around, walk around,
Right.
and meet different people all the time. We meet people because that's how we are just made. We're not shy. We talk to our clients, we talk to our friends, we keep in touch with them. And the good thing is that, from the dealership that we worked at, we have friends that we still keep in touch with, and then it's
Me
pretty cool
too.
that, they hit us up and they're like, hey, I need help, can you help me out with I want to purchase my home, or I need to refinance my home, or I need advice. What should I do? Who can I talk to? Where can I go? And it's very much appreciated that they think of you, they think of me, they think of us, and that's why we're here. We're here to keep friendships and relationships strong as they can be.
Right. I mean, no matter where you go in your life, you got to remember where you started, and what brought you to that new place. Yeah, I love my job too. I'm not gonna say anything bad about it because I think this is the best choice that I've made in my life, going into real estate. But on the other hand, I remember where I started. If I started with cars, any other job, I never forget these people that showed me what to do and how to do it. And I never forget people that I used to work with. They're some of them are in the same business, some of them they do some other things, but
Mm-hmm.
they're still the same people. Same person, same heart inside. So I think it's like you said. It's very important to stay in touch with them, and don't forget your past. Because the past built you.
Yeah, there's a future ahead of us.